are going to be discussing today freestyle martial arts.
Right.
And people who make up their own arts.
Right. Styles. Yes. I think the problem is with the term martial art. People are interested in the art part, and they figure, you don't need training to be an artist. That wasn't always true. People who are classically trained in art would definitely disagree with you. You have to learn the craft first, and then you can express yourself. You hear these terms in martial arts all the time that they say, especially at seminars. I'm going to teach you something, and then I want you to take it home and make it your own. I completely disagree.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to teach you this, and then you're going to make it your own.
I do that in piano.
That's different.
That's different, right? Because you do want to make it your own style.
See, now here's the thing. That's perfect. That is perfect. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're holding to that. So, if we sat down right now and you said to me, just show me something on the piano, just go crazy.
Right.
I don't know the piano, so this is what I would do. I'd sit down and I'd be like, bing, 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 ding. And I'd work some pedals, and then I'd be like, and then I'd be like, how was that? That was my solo. What do you think? And you would say,
that was crappy because it wasn't in the right key or something. Because that just doesn't look. Yeah. Right.
You don't know what the heck you're doing, and I'd be like, no, this is my art. And you would say,
it sounds awful.
Yes, you don't know what the heck you're doing.
That's not right. Yeah.
You need to learn how to play the piano first, then you can make up your own songs.
Right.
So here's the problem. They don't have the right entry. They don't have, their kicks are so sloppy, it's silly. The punches, if they landed, which they won't, make me sick to look at. In a sense, fitting the analogy, Ryan knows how to play the piano. I'm not going to be able to fool him. I can hit the black and white key at the same time and look like I know what I'm doing, and there's no way that I'm going to fool him. And starting your own style of martial arts and being this freestyle martial artist, and I've heard this so many times, people brag about not needing a sensei. I don't need a sensei, I'm self-taught. I visited a dojo, and the guy claimed to have taught 5 arts. One he got a brown belt in, karate, and then the others he read books. And he was serious about this. He claimed, and he was very serious, I do 5 different arts, and I blended them together, and I have my own style. I learned them from books. You're bragging about that, that makes me sick to my stomach. I believe in freestyle martial arts. What if I said that I believe in freestyle piano? Yeah. And I was like leaning my elbow on it. It wouldn't work. I don't need to hit it with my fingers. I came up with my own way. I play backwards. Like this, No, that's not how it's done. There's a way to do it. And the reason why there's a way to do it is because there's a way that works, and there's a way that doesn't work. And if anything worked, then no, you wouldn't need to learn the piano if anything worked. And we're talking about somebody beating the crap out of you. So here's the thing. You need to know how to enter. You need to know how to lock. This is the degradation of martial arts in this country, is that people, before they're ready, start writing songs. I can't write a song, I don't know how to play yet. And that's what people need to do. People need to, I'm sure you have your students write songs.
When they get good enough.
Right. And when they get good enough, their first songs, they aren't that great.
No, they never will.
But that's acknowledged. That's part of the learning process. When my beginning students, I say, okay, throw a punch, and he's a yellow belt. Throw a punch at that yellow belt, and you do what you're trained to do in the yellow belt. He's writing his song. He's trying his best at the entrance, trying his best to block, and then we point out holes, and we say, oh, okay, right there, you're going to hit the wrong note.
Yeah. You don't want to hit that one.
You do that, and you're going to eat a punch.
Right.
You do that, and you're really going to help this guy pull his knife that he's hiding in his back pocket. You need to distance yourself from those weapons. You need to people need to learn martial arts before they start coming up with their own styles. And this idea of promoting themselves, well, you know, this guy's a black belt. Oh, no, he wasn't. The guy that I met was a brown belt. But he was a grandmaster because he came up with his own style. Who the heck told somebody that that was the case? Who came up with that rule? Who came up with that rule? That's a crazy rule. That's not a rule.
So anybody can make up their style and call themselves anything.
But then you're a grandmaster if you make up your own style.
But you can be bigger than the grandmaster if it's your style.
Right, why stop there?
Right, grandmaster, super duper, professor.
And that's just going to add to the integrity of martial arts right there, won't it?
Wow.
Yeah, that's upsetting to me. I get very uncomfortable. What if I just decided to be a piano teacher? I don't know anything about piano.
You wouldn't get any students. But that's the problem with martial arts.
Problem with martial
People don't
arts.
know what's really done. And I mean, you know, the arts I did before I met you guys was, you know, nothing compared to what I know now. I'm in comparison. But you know, I did legitimate taekwondo, the Omi Kung Fu thing I learned on videotapes. You know.
There you go.
And you know, so I guess I'm guilty of that.
No, but that's legitimate teaching now.
Right.
How
And
did
if you
that
learn
happen?
from a videotape, so if I, oh man, that's crazy. So I can actually call myself a black belt in Omi Kung Fu,
Sure, because you.
36 elbow technique.
There you go.
That's what it was called. You had to like, the videotape was a guy like, Google it. It's pretty cool. Like you had to like, I don't know if it's really wise to do now, but you had to tuck your arms in and basically fall down to the ground and make your elbows hit the ground on the way down. So you just repeatedly get up, make yourself fall down on the ground, and hit your elbows.
What was the plan?
The plan was to, I guess, condition your elbows. And I got to the point where you're supposed to start on your knees first, and then you stand. And then, you know, if you get really good, you can actually jump in the air and land on your elbows. But I never got to the jumping part. But I think, you know, at the time, it was cool because I didn't have to use my elbows.
There's a guy on YouTube that I was just watching, and he's doing the exact opposite. He claims to be some kung fu master, and he says it's all about the mind, and we do not condition the body at all. And then he's like bending aluminum pipes around his neck and all kinds of stuff.
But why would you do that?
Yeah,
There's some conditioning that doesn't make sense. But you also did conditioning, no? You did your...
Sure, yeah.
This guy punches rock walls.
Sure.
Don't ask him to because he'll do it.
But the point behind that conditioning is definitely to formulate the correct fist, because if you don't get the right fist, you can hurt your wrist. All those freestylists out there that believe that they know because I met a guy. He's in my town. He teaches martial arts in my town. And I asked him where he trained, and he said, "I never had a sensei. I don't believe in it."
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Where's their respect?
And then he says, I said, "But you are a sensei." "Yes." "So you are asking your students to follow you?" He says, "Yes, they pay me." "Okay, but you never, where did you get the information from?" "You never," he says, I subscribe to MMA magazine, and I pick up a lot of stuff from TV. I was amazed that he was honest about it, honestly. I said, "So where did you get that black belt?" He said, "I bought it." Wow. So that's what's weird about our country. Arrogance is at an all-time high in martial arts. And the weird thing is that the arrogance and the ego negate logical thought. Like they just throw the logic out the window, and this guy's telling me, and he's telling me this. You know? Doesn't he realize what I'm going to think of that whole situation?
Because you're legitimate, and he's not.
Don't you think that, like... So I spent decades doing what I'm doing, but you bought magazines and watched TV. Okay. Right. My sensei broke my bones, but you turned pages. Okay. I literally paid my dues, not just financially, but bruises, bumps, and injuries, not just injuries, but struggling to learn and to develop and to attain skill. But you did that.
Remote.
Okay.
Fast forward. I'll rewind that.
Alright. I received my certification and my black belt from my instructor.
You boxed it.
Yeah. But that's okay in this country. I don't know why it's okay, but that's okay. And you know what? I mean, since he founded his own style, he must be a grandmaster.
He's bigger than a grandmaster. He's probably going to be a super duper grandmaster.
Just think about that. What other field could you get away with it? What other field?
We touched on this before. We had this conversation.
It's crazy.
Something about what if doctors?
Oh yeah,
What is that?
I'm a doctor too.
What do you need cut?
I believe in freestyle dentistry.
Freestyle.
See, the
Pay me!
tooth is out. Look at this. I believe in,
God.
you know, I'm a freestyle orthodontist. I'll straighten that.
What
crap
other
out.
industry?
What other industry?
What? That's a good question, dude.
And here's the thing, this guy is teaching the kids.
Mm.
And then here's the thing, a parent, I mean, honestly, whether you have an eye for martial arts or not, I'm sure this guy's going to show something silly. And then, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, man, martial arts does not work. I've heard from so many people, they say, yeah, that stuff doesn't really work. Where do they get that idea from these people? You got it. I mean, come on. You freestyle martial artists are killing it. You are killing it for the rest of us. You know, here's the thing, right? There used to be that thing called Dojo Arashi, where, you know, you stormed it. This guy had all these claims, and you just stormed the dojo and you defeated that guy with all his claims. There's a point to it. I'm not interested in it. I don't really want to get into that. I think it's awfully mean. But wow, huh? Wow.
Did I tell you about this video I saw on YouTube about two masters? I can swear.
Yeah, that was like a couple.
Yeah.
A couple ago. Yeah.
And it was something like that. You claim to be a grandmaster, put your dukes up, and you got punched in the mouth and quit. One punch.
I don't want to laugh. That's not right. I'm laughing because of the faces that Brian makes. Because the faces that Brian makes, not because it's funny that some guy got popped in the face. Although it was a little funny.
And he looks at his finger. He rubs his guns all blatant.
Now, you know.
Oh gosh.
You know,
But that's what needs to happen. I bet you there will be more fakers out there. Just punch people in their face when they do that.
There's a serious.
Oh, you're a super duper grandmaster, pooper duper.
There's a serious legitimacy to martial arts, and it cannot be faked. I'd like to say that, but the thing is, the people are out there faking it. There was one guy. He was in Jersey. He was a grandmaster of karate, and he decided because he was a grandmaster of karate that he could use a sword. Did you ever tell this story?
I think so. Go ahead, tell it. I don't think I remember.
He decided that he knew how to use a sword, a samurai sword.